Cogswell is a very unusual institution for several reasons. One is it's very small, smaller than most institutions of higher education. This is by design. Typically in a large university, you'll have a good engineering school, you may have a very good art school, but they will never interact with each other. We can in fact integrate under one roof and in one program a whole series of specializations that make up, go into these industries. For example, we have digital artists, we have game developers, we have software engineers, we have computer engineers, we have audio technologists, all under the same roof. The reason this is important from an educational standpoint is that these industries, the video game industry, the animation industry, and all the industries that are connected to them are fundamentally collaborative industries. You don't make a video game by yourself, at least not one of any size. And so what we do here at Cogswell is we model under one roof industrial setting.
At a larger university, there are a lot of different, and we'll call them distractions, but there's so much more going on around. You're a small part of something larger. Here the student feels like they're the focus.
I heard about Cogswell and their 3D program, and I kind of was thinking about going into games or film, and so I decided I'll just make a day trip down and check it out and see if it's what I'm looking for, and saw the work up on the walls and really fell in love with it. And I got a tour from the dean actually, and he walked around the school with me, and I noticed he was greeting every student by name and asking about the projects that they had. So it was very intimate and personal, and I really enjoyed that, and it was a big part of the reason I signed up.
Here they really respect like your ideas. You know, if I say, oh, I want to make games for a living, a lot of people might look at you and say, oh, you want to play games, right? But no, we actually want to make games, and the teachers understand that, and they really help you reach your goals. They like the same things you do. The students here like the same things you do. It's okay to be, you know, yourself in terms of if you're a super geek or whatever, or you like games, yeah, I like games, you want to make games.
The typical Cogswell student plays games too much. And that's a side effect of being at game college. And it's like saying an animation student watches too many movies. The students here are so they're wrapped up and engaged in what they want to create. Their passion for it is very apparent in their behavior. And so the animation students will just get together and sit down and watch a film, both for fun and to rip it apart, to figure out how it works. You know, the music students live music outside of class in addition to inside of class.
Most of my class sizes have like under 10 people, so that allows us to interact with the teacher a lot more. So if we have real questions, we can just feel free to ask. But it's kind of like a home inside the classroom.
The students I work with are very fast learners. They're totally into technology and to music production. And while oftentimes they come in with sort of a limited experience, there are a lot of new things that they haven't tried. They tend to be rather open to new experiences. And so part of my approach is to put them into situations that they haven't been in and see if they come out on top, which they usually do. And not only do they come out on top, but the results oftentimes are truly beautiful. I mean, it's humbling.
What I find is great about Cogswell is that the instructors have this enthusiastic approach to what they're teaching, and they have that passion to want to pass on to the students, which makes you get excited about what you're learning and you want to learn more, and you just want to work hard for it.
There's no stereotypes here. You're just, you know, you're going to school, you're having a good time. I went to a junior college and it just kind of felt, you know, depressing. You kind of had to fit into a norm.
Whether we're teaching English, whether it's literature, grammar, whether it's the history courses, global political economics, mathematics, physics. The most important thing to understand about general education is that we teach all of the subjects our students think they don't want to take. So what we have to do is present our material in such a way that the students enjoy it and also understand that this is important for them, maybe even more important than the very practical skills they're learning in their major fields.
I had a choice between going to USC and Cogswell, but I chose Cogswell because the program was a lot more focused in multimedia. The class sizes were much smaller, and the admissions team was extremely helpful, making it a simple process.
We offer a full range of financial aid options for our students. We have federal aid, we have state aid, we have institutional money. These are all designed to bridge the gap between what the student is able to afford and the cost of education. I get a lot of satisfaction out of knowing that I'm helping these students make their dreams a reality.
At the front of the school there are a bunch of posters and they all have signatures on them, and it was really incredible my first tour to find out that these signatures are from people who worked on these films, former Cogswell graduates who are now working at DreamWorks and Pixar, so there's really an opportunity to progress into the industry after you leave.
We're constantly in touch with our alumni and students that graduate here and are working in industry, and I present to them changes in coursework or degree plans if we're planning to make changes, and we invite their feedback, and we directly loop that information back in. You know, having built the largest computer animation studio in the world in the last 28 years of my career, one thing I realized is we're constantly changing. Most people think, oh, this is a mature industry, things won't change that much. But believe me, in 20 years I've been doing that. Every day I go to work, I know I'm going to be doing something different than the way I did the day before, the year before.
You can't run old software. You can't run old machines. You can't even run old concepts. And an old concept in the digital arts industry is 6 months ago. Sometimes it's 3 months ago. So what we do here is we have a studio model. We try to follow the way studios are set up, which is to be really organized and really nimble. And you can't do that at a university.
The programs are small enough that you know everybody in every program when you're on campus here. The interaction between the departments is very strong.
When you get here, it's very much creative environment with students who are interested in very much in the same field. And that's uniqueness, I think, is what makes it fun to be here. I come here, I get to have lunch with them, and I feel like I'm in a small studio. When I first came to Cogswell, I saw all these really enthusiastic students, really excited about making games for the first time. And it reminded me of my first time of learning how to make games when I was young.
Here, you know, we're all together at all times, okay? And that really fosters, you know, the idea of integration. We're also blessed with an administration that understands and values that. So, to me, I guess it's really the ideal.
Vin is one of the hardest teachers I've ever had, but he's also one of the best teachers I've ever had, and those are related.
All my students, when they graduated, they got a job right away, immediately. I call them eagles. The difference between eagle and chicken, the eagle fly up everywhere, and chicken stay down there on earth. That's why they grow, and I want my eagles to fly high.
The instructors here are quite incredible in that instead of being regular professors, they're professionals. So when I came here, I kind of led the classes the way I wanted and was able to learn what I wanted to learn. And they had so much knowledge that wasn't book deep. I mean, anybody can open a book and read it through. You don't need to pay thousands of dollars to go to a college to read a book. What you're looking for when you go to a college is real knowledge.
It's really nice to have professors who have worked in the industry previously and are coming in with a lot of outside experience and a lot to offer their students.
We have people in here all the time from industry, and because of the scale of the place, students get to interact with these people. They may do it in the context of a formal event, they may do it informally in the hallways. And the people who come here are interested in these students because they're the future of these industries. And so they want to invest in these young people. They want to help them to get what they need to have in order to be successful out there in the industries.
Parents are really pleased with their children when they graduate from Cogswell. I think they're proud of them, they're proud of their creativity, they're proud of their accomplishments, and I think at the same time they are aware that they've come away with a really solid education and are going to do really well.
The key elements we're looking for in big studio when we hire artists is their ability not only to, you know, really home in their skills, basic skills in computer animation, but also be able to articulate where they want to go in the future. Because what we do is really leverage off that. A studio really listens to the individual students that come out of school and say, okay, where does this kid want to go?
the further we want to go, the more effort we'll put in to support them, because the more benefit everybody will gain from that.
It's what I love doing. I love drawing and I love art, and it's what I always see myself doing.
I want to be a programmer / game designer. Eventually I'd like to own my own company making games.
My dream job would be working for Intel, designing microprocessors.
I already have 2 job offers, and I'm running my own business, so there's a bright future for me.